everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today I have two different molds to do. These got gifted to me, oh my gosh, weeks ago, I think with that little elk mold at the same time. These got put in the closet to do, and then I just came across them, realized I haven't done them yet. And I've done that elk like 20 times already. So the first one is a little cow's head, which is probably going to be adorable. He holds 5.5 ounces, so he's pretty large. He's almost the size of my hand. And then the other one that came in that package was a crown. It's like a trinket tray dish. There's a little opening in here, so this is the top of the crown, and here is the side of the crown. So I had the idea, because both are going to need to be embellished after the fact. And when I think of a cow, you obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I think of like the black and white cows. So I didn't want to just pour white mica powder in there and put black spots on them or anything. So I chose my unicorn pearlescent glitter. This is a medium cut, super pretty, and that's going to mimic his white cowhide, I guess. And then somehow we will embellish him after the fact. This one, because when I think of crowns, I think of royalty, and royalty generally uses purple. So I'm going to try this one. We haven't done this one yet out of that 60 count, and it's called Pearl Purple. And I don't think I opened it. Nope, I got to open it. Grab a knife. So I'm thinking it will look like, oh, that's pretty. Like a velvet on the crown itself. And then I will be obviously embellishing all these things on the sides and the top when we demold it. So this one also holds 5.5 ounces. So I didn't want to just do one. These are kind of simple, so I wanted to give you two today. I'm going to mix up 5.5 at one time, and then 5.5 when I'm ready for that one. Because I'm thinking, yeah, I don't want to have to rush. So let me get some resin mixed up. So I mixed up 6 ounces because it was easier to round off of my casting resin. Now I'm thinking, because that's a medium cut, I want it suspended. The problem with suspending it with glue in a mold like this, see the horns and the ears? And I've learned this when I add glue in the glitter and you add it to a mold. It only happened on this mold. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the only one it's happened on, and I don't know if it's because the eyes are so small, but when the glue is in there and it makes it really thick, a bubble forms at the eyes and they pop off. I don't want that to happen on this one, although these are bigger than the eyes on that mold. So what I'm thinking, because I'm going to embellish it anyway, I think I'm going to spray some alcohol in there and pour the ears and the horns first, and then add glue to my resin and the glitter, and then pour it over that. So I'm going to see if that works. Hopefully it works. I've just got a nice amount of alcohol in there, and I'm just gonna, you don't need to run it through your vacuum chamber when you're putting glitter or mica in there. That's why I'm not doing that today. So see, there's, well, it's not quite filled up. I have to go kind of high, but I'm assuming when I pour the rest in that the glitter will mix in with the rest of that sitting on the bottom. I hope. That's my plan. Okay, it's in there. So that leaves me 5 ounces of resin. I do 1 drip per ounce. But this time, let me move this out of the way. I'm going to start with 4. Let's see what 4 does. Literally a drop. And this just thickens it up to where your glitter won't sink. Because if it sinks, it's all going to sink to the top of his head. So I don't think that 4 was enough. I'm going to add 1 more. That's better. So let's just hope. I don't care if glitter gets in his horn or his ears, because I'm probably going to cover them with something when I demold him. That looks pretty good. Make sure you mix it well. I'm sure I'll have leftover, so we'll make something out of it, like I always do. Always needing stuff to give away. So I'm just looking at it from the side to see if that's enough in there. It's probably enough. I always like to add more, but I don't think I need to. So that's just going to combine with the clear that I already had in there. That's my plan anyway. And get it domed. Whoop. I don't have as much as I thought I was gonna have. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm just mixing up the clear that got pushed to the top. Oops, I should have shut my glitter before I started spraying alcohol. Okay. Now I'm going to find something to do with this extra, and I will probably get a new cup because there's glitter in there, and mix up 6 more ounces, and we're going to mix in the purple. I do want to mention this resin I'm using, it is not the one I want to use. I usually use Let's Resin all the time. This resin I'm trying to get rid of because I saw it on a Facebook group and people were saying how great it was for tumblers. So I'm like, that's interesting. You get a lot of resin. It's like a gallon for a lot less than the one that I buy for my tumblers. So I figured I'd give it a shot. I used it one time and I hated it. And you could see the color isn't even correct. So I figured I'm going to use it for other projects if I'm going to be coloring it, which is what I'm doing, even though the glitter should color it a little bit. So I'm not gonna like blast their name out on my video here. If you do make tumblers and you wanna know which one I'm talking about, just message me and I'll let you know. I'm not gonna show it on here. But if you notice the color was different, the bubbles are different, it's because I don't recommend this one to use. So I'm just using it as a casting resin. I will link the one that I would normally use in my description box. Because this is not the one I'm going to use, but I have a gallon of it now to get rid of. So I will just be using it in odd and end stuff that I'm making around here. All right, I have a few more minutes, so I will pause you until I'm done. Okay, so like, here's one thing. As you could see, there's thousands of bubbles in there. That mixer that I love so much does not do that to the Let's Resin brand. So I just don't like it for anything that it's doing. I did make 3 pendants and a set of earrings with the leftovers, and there was only like a ½ ounce, probably not even a ½ ounce left. All right, I'm going to scoop a good amount of mica powder in here. And this was called Pearl Purple. Get it mixed up really good. I am going to spray that crown, well, both of them with the alcohol because of all those little tiny, I don't know what you call them. I'm going to call them knobs. There's probably a real word for them that sit at the top of your crown. Being that I don't have a crown, I don't need to know the lingo. Oh boy. All right. Well, yeah, that is definitely pearly. I see a little blue tint to it too. And I can kind of see the stick through it, so I am going to add just a tiny bit more. I don't want to be able to see the wood through my resin. And I'm looking over here at the cow head, and it looks like my glitter is staying in place, so that's a good sign. I will be turning the heat mat on to get these cured quicker, because this is a 24-hour cure as well. So yeah, I don't want to wait that long, especially when I'm working with glitter. Now this stuff on my tumblers, it worked fine. I've already used this for some other things that I had to make, not on video, and it just doesn't work for my tumblers. It didn't work with the sealer that I use on my vinyl. Didn't work without the sealer. It was just very thin and split and gave me fish eyes, so it was very frustrating, and I don't want to do that more than once. So the other one that I use is a little more expensive, and you get what you pay for. So I have never been disappointed in the Let's Resin products that I use every day, and there's a reason for that. It may be a little bit more, but it is well worth it in the end. I just got some powder in there. I need to wash this out. Hang on a minute. Since I have it inside out, I think that's the best way to spray all these little things. Hopefully I got them all. Get some alcohol down in there. And in this one. Let's pour this one first to make sure they fill up all those little thingy majiggies. Then I'll squish them and make sure there's no bubbles in there. That one shouldn't have any because it was much bigger, but I don't know. We're gonna see how this resin works in these molds. I don't know. All right, that looks good. This one looks pretty good. I don't see any bubbles. No. Basically just gonna fill them up and wait. This should be really cute when it's done. I can't believe I forgot about them. I'm so sorry. And I keep forgetting. You guys send me stuff all the time. I have started writing down who's sending me what, because I keep forgetting who's sending me what. So I am writing it down now so I don't forget who you are. But I always give you a shout out the day I receive it. So I want to say Barbara Valente, but it could have been Kathy. Let me know in the comments who gave me these, because I do want to know. Okay, that's domed, that's domed. Again, about less than ½ ounce. Let me find a mold. I will get everything cured and we will start embellishing. I think I'm going to use one of my little flower brooch molds with the mica powder and see how it does. It takes about ½ ounce, so I may not be filling this completely up. I did spray it with alcohol because there's a lot of little leaves to get in there. I should say petals, not leaves. I'm just going to squish it around. That was the perfect amount. Just less than ½ ounce. Perfect amount for that. Okay, I'm excited to see this with the purple mica powder in there. Let me just spray everything. And see you on demold. I'm gonna add something to the mix. So I got an email a couple days ago from a Kimberly Johnson, and she really wanted a little mousse. So I asked her what she wanted in it, color, glitter, whatever. So this is an experiment. If this doesn't work out, Kimberly, don't worry. I'm going to go with the next option. So she mentioned she wanted dried flowers, a little bit of pink alcohol ink, and some pink glitter. And what I thought would happen is the dried flowers are going to like sink. Actually, I told her sink to the butt, but it's actually going to sink to the head. So what I did, and this is really just an experiment, this resin here I'm mixing up is my Let's Resin coating one, the tabletop epoxy, because it's very thick and it sets up quickly. So I thought, I wonder if these flowers will stay suspended in this tabletop resin while we're waiting for it to cure quickly. So here's some flowers that I just broke up some pieces of rose petals that I had. I have some hot pink alcohol ink, and I also have my golden rose fine glitter, which is a pink color. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit because I don't want to hide the flowers. So I'm just going to put the alcohol ink first and get it tinted, not too much because we want to be able to see everything we're sticking in there. So I'm just going to barely tint it. Then I'm going to add some glitter, and then I will add some flowers. I have my heat mat on. Look at this, you guys. Look at how yellow that resin is cured. It's pretty hard, but I'm not ready to unmold it. But look at that. It is horrible. This should be clear. And then if you look at those, because it's thin, so if you do it deep with that stuff, it doesn't dry clear. So I'm so upset with that stupid resin. I'll never buy that again. All right, I'm going to set it off because my heat mat is still on. Grab a little spoon. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of the glitter in. And then I'm going to put the flower petals in. And like I said, if this doesn't work, we're going to go with plan B, which is just pink and glitter. I'm hoping this being thick is not going to do what I said earlier and pop the eyeballs off. All right, let me just get these flowers in here. I'm doing it off to the side, like I said, because my heat mat's on. So I don't even know. I don't know if we're going to see any flowers. I hope we do. There's got a lot of bubbles in here, though. I wonder if I should try to run this through my... I'm going to try to run it through my vacuum chamber and see what happens. Hang on a second. It actually kind of worked. What you see is the glitter there. I did have to like monitor it because it was going to bubble out and over like 4 times. So I did release the pressure like 4 times without shutting it off. But look at that. It cleared it up a lot. So I'm going to... Oh, I need to spray it, especially those eyes. Let's hope we get no bubbles. Let's hope everything stays suspended and he doesn't have a big flower head. I'm just going to squish the eyes a little bit and make sure. And then I'm going to run a few errands while we wait for these to cure. Well, most of this is already cured. The pendants are not, though. And I need the antlers. Get a little piece of... Maybe I should take those out. They're probably not gonna stay in the right place when I walk away. All right, let me grab some tweezers. I'm just gonna get those little tiny pieces of flour. Because my luck, they'll clump into one little section and then I can't do anything about it except remake them. Stick them in there. How's that? Okay. So now we get 3 things to demold. All right. Yeah, look at that. That is like so yellow. Super, super mad about that. I don't even know if we're going to see the glitter. If we don't, I'm going to remake it with good resin. So I just got home from my errands and a couple things. I unmolded the cow head and one thing I completely forgot. I'm so used to being able to pour my normal casting resin really deep without flash curing. I forgot about that. This one's really deep. So this whole bottom is all bubble. It is just, this thing flash cured. I don't like it at all. It's yellow. So I am going to re-pour this same way I did the other one, just with a different resin. So I'll do that later. So I just wanted to show you that. Don't pour resin you don't know too deep, because I didn't even think about it. So we went to, you know, drop off my today's orders at the post office, and I ran to Walmart for a couple things. And then Don's like, where next? And I'm like, well, that's all I have to do. He goes, well, let's go to Hobby Lobby. And I'm like, well, okay, but I don't need anything. He's like, you gotta have something you need. So let me show you what I got. Well, these are from Walmart. So look at the size of this spray bottle. I'm wondering if it'll mist nicely. It'll hold so much more alcohol than these tiny little things. So those aren't too exciting, but that's where I get my spray bottles from. And then from Walmart, I did get a couple of these. No, I got this one, a new white paint, because this one is gloss. My other one was matte. But from Hobby Lobby, I got a couple of paints, pearl white and a silver glitter. So these are both acrylic paints. So I thought those would be pretty, maybe on like that powder casting stuff. Then at Hobby Lobby, on sale, everything I got today was 50% off. I got a new set of dotting tools, because you can never have too much of those. So those were only like $4, $4.50, something like that. I got these napkins. I thought they were super adorable for summertime. And I have a really cool idea to embellish these inside of the coaster or the tray or whatever I'm going to do. So this comes with the white, pink, and chocolate. So yeah, those were cool. So I have a great idea for those. And then I got, these were half off. I got 2 sets of these little tiny paw prints and cat heads. So these I would use for like tops of tumblers. I have a tumbler right now that's going to want paw prints on the top of their lid. So I thought those were really cute. So these were only like $2 each. So I grabbed those. In the same aisle, I got 2 cross pendants, but I think I would use them for bookmarks. So I did get those. This part is silicone, so that will be empty when you pour your resin in there. And then I got some more gears, because these were half off, and we are thinking about doing a steampunk river board next. So I got what they had. They only had 2. Then I grabbed some papers. Don picked out this one. He's like, that would be pretty in something. I'm like, yes, it would, especially with sparkle on it. So I'm going to do something with that. And then I got these 2 for summertime. I'll probably be making coasters for my table with these 2. So look for these papers soon. And then he chose a couple things. I don't even know if this stuff is going to work, but he wanted these. So these are actually a material. It's like a felt. It's pretty thick. They were half off, $1.49. So this was very classy looking. And then he goes, oh, I like the snakeskin one. You got to get it. So he got a snakeskin one. So, and then I looked at them both together and I said, oh, that would be a pretty set of something, whether it be coasters or something. So look for these. I'm not sure how we're going to cut them to size, but we will figure it out. All right, I'm going to mix up my regular resin. I'm going to re-pour the cow's head, and then we'll unmold everything together. All right, so a couple of things. One, I unmolded the elk, because when I saw it through the silicone, I was right. All of the rose petals fell down to his head. So I still gave him a little face. See the half smile? Kind of like smirking at me like, I told you. So we're going to set him aside, and I re-poured her one with just pink and glitter. So this is going to now be called Rosie, and she's going to join the club of misfits. So, all right, so for these extras, this one is my little heart, or not, my little flower mold, but it is filled with the extras from the new batch with the glitter. Oh, that came out really pretty. I didn't expect it to because I put glue in this. So it's not as clear as I would like it to be because I did add 5 drops of glue, so it was really thick going in the mold, but it still came out really pretty. Let's see what the one with the mica powder looks like. Hopefully just as pretty. Oh yeah, check that out. Doesn't matter if it's alcohol ink or mica powder, it still comes out beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna set those aside. We're gonna get the antlers out first. So here is the pink with just a little, now this time I added a little bit of my rainbow shimmer as well as the pink glitter that I added the first time. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of alcohol in here because it seems to work better when you get that alcohol down everywhere. It loosens up his head and it should come right out. So hopefully she's happy with this one. I will send her a picture of it just to make sure this is what she was thinking about before I mail it off. I don't want anybody unhappy. If not, she's gonna be added to the family. As I said, it should pop right out. I don't think the alcohol got down in his head. I really need to order me another one of these before I ruin this one. I'll be so upset if I don't have this to make for extras. Come on. Don't be stubborn. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Let me undo that. Oh, good. So this didn't have any glue, but all my fine glitter does stay suspended in there. So I will get a little face on this one and get this sent out. Here's the antlers that go in here. So I will finish this up. I also have some pendants over there I need to finish up, but let's get these unmolded. And then once I like enhance everything and I come back, I will have those finished as well. So I'm just gonna squish this alcohol around all of this one. There we go. This one needs a little trimming. So the Let's Resin pump resin or casting resin, this one does not flash cure this deep. And this is a pretty deep mold. I didn't even think about that on the other one. There he is. See the difference in them? This one's got like a bunch of wrinkles in him from the flash cure. It looks terrible. I don't think you could see, oh yeah, you could kind of see those wrinkles. That's what happens when it cures too quickly. So this one's nice and smooth. I'm going to finish off his face and his ears. I did pour the clear in there so we wouldn't get them popping off. All right, so this is the lid to the crown. That came out really nice. I got a trim around the edge. So that does look really pearly. It does look like velvet like I thought it would. It's kind of what I was going for. So I'm going to do something around there. This one, oh, this one flash cured, you guys. I'm gonna have to redo this one. There are bubbles galore. You guys say, how will I know if it flash cures? Trust me, you will know. I am going to re-pour this one. Sorry, this video is taking longer than expected. I guess I should have just done one one project. Here I'm like, oh, this one's too simple. I'm gonna do two. Well, yeah, look what happened. So this one came out horrendous. I absolutely hate that stuff. I actually went on Amazon to see if I could return it, and they said, no, this seller will not return the product. So unfortunately, it's probably going in the garbage. So look at what happened when it flash cures. Bubbles everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to re-pour this one, and I'm going to finish off everything else. So we'll come back with some final things. I've got these all poured, and actually I put my casting resin with the mica powder in my vacuum chamber, and the bubbles came out. So this should be good after it's cured. Now, I received an email. That's why I came back on here. I was just going to do these off camera like I always do and show you the end result. I received an email this afternoon, actually, from somebody named Lori, who's new to resin. And she was asking how I get my pendants, I guess, and earrings and things that I show at the end. How do I do them? Because she's new to resin and she doesn't understand, and she's getting them scratched when she files them, and she doesn't see how I'm doing them. So basically, I put them on my tray. This is my dual UV light. I pick my pendants. I have tons of pendants to choose from. I also have gold ones, which is this one. So I pick my pendants, put them on there, make sure I'm going to like them. Oops, this one's upside down. And make sure that's what I want. Then I'm going to remove the pendant. I have already trimmed the sides. Not many of them needed it, but I did have to trim a little bit of these sides. So I did do that. Now, in order to get those sides shiny again, you would have to take your finger or something. I can't use my hands because I'm allergic to the UV resin through my gloves. You would take a little UV resin, which I never have problems with my sides, but just rub it on the sides and cure it. And that will shine your sides back up if you have to sand them down. I need to go trim off that little hook right there, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. So basically, I just get my high viscosity UV resin. This one is nice and thick, and I've never had it run over the sides for me. And I pretty much put a little puddle in the center. These two will be the earrings. See how much that shines this up? And because I can't touch it with my hands anymore, I hold it down in that puddle with a knife or something sharp. I take my scribe like I'm top coating a coaster, and I just bring that resin to the edge. Now, the surface tension holds it from going over unless you have bubbles. If you have bubbles on the side of your pendant, you're going to have to tape that up. If there's no bubbles, the resin should not go over the side of this. And then you're going to grab your lighter, light it, pop all those bubbles. I'm going to grab my little charm, set it on top of the resin, get it exactly where you want it because it'll be too late once you turn the light on, which I'm going to worry about that in a second. I forgot I've already poured this one. I almost cured it, and that would have cured this as a puddle. I've done that before. So I'm just going to drag it to the side. It shines it up beautifully, gets all the glitter shining again. If you've used your molds as much as I've used mine, my molds aren't even shiny anymore. So I have to do this. If your molds are new, you may not have to do this unless you're going to be adding a charm. If you see that it's stretching too far and it's like making blank spots on your edges, then you just need to add a little bit more resin. If you get it in the hole, just drill it out. Get a little jewelry drill. They're really cheap, especially on Temu. So I'm just going to push these where I want them. Then I'm going to get my light and cure it for about 2 minutes. So it's cured. It's been 2 minutes. So look at how beautiful that worked. So basically when they're done, you just add your hardware. If it's a pendant, you add a pinch bail or whatever bail you want. These two are going to be earrings. So I just grabbed some gold jump rings that are going to fit. Make sure you get the right size or it can be challenging. Oops. I just need to open it up a little bit more. Put your jump ring through here. I try to close mine as tight as possible before I add the actual earring part. I think this jump ring is going to be too small. I need to get a bigger one. This one's not going to work. I don't like them too small because then they're like ruining your earring part. So I'm just going to get a little bit bigger size. Open them up. There we go. That fits better. I try to close it as much as I can. I'm going to take the earring. Make sure you put it on the right way. This one's a little bigger than I want it to be, but I don't have an in-between size for gold. So there's that one. Then you just do it again on here. And then basically the exact same thing I'm going to do, just in a larger portion of UV resin for the pendants. I won't show you. You can rewind if you want to see it again. I don't want to make this longer for the people who already know. So I'm just going to close this up. And here's your set of earrings. Get a little card if you have any cards, if you're going to sell them or give them away. Make sure you get the backs on them. I have to go grab my backs. I don't have any with me. So you just stick them on your earring card. Put your little rubber backs on there. And there is that. I'm going to finish these up off camera. I'll show you at the end. Are you guys ready for some reveals? So I did unmold it because I had a lot of embellishing to do. So I'm going to show you. Kimberly Johnson, the one who ordered this little guy, she had saw the one I made for Jan on the video the other day, and she quick emailed me and said, I need a blue one too, just like the one you made. So here's another one I made for you. I hope you love him. And she's like, my friend's gonna want some too. So anything you want, those are so easy to make. So you did see these that I made, the pendant and the earrings. I don't know if you saw the pendant. I think I did the pendant off camera. So these are the three that I did in the glitter ones. So we got the seahorse and two little bows. I thought those were pretty on the white background, but look at the glitter. This is the, can't remember which one, unicorn, the unicorn glitter. And then with the extras in the purple mica powder, I have a set of earrings with little starfish. And two pendants I made. So this was left from the new batch of purple. So, you know, this is a to do and not to do with resin. It ended up being, because now you know what happens with cheap resin. Okay, are you ready for the cow reveal? It's not as sparkly as I wanted in glitter. I should have packed it a lot more. But here he is. So I put some rhinestones in his ears. He has a little tuft of hair that's on his head. I got my pens out and used the gold or the copper, whatever it was, and then a little pink for his mouth. I have a little bit of bubbles right here, so they did have to draw over the bubbles. But what do you think of him? Isn't he adorable? He kind of reminds me of Olaf, even though Olaf was a snowman and this is a cow. But I thought he was so cute. I wish his sparkle would come out a little bit more, but I did not put enough glitter in there for that to happen, because this is kind of what I was going for. That's how different it came out. But at least he's not yellow. All right, and then for the crown, I embellished it. Here is the lid. So I took and put rhinestones all around there and put one on the top. So the lid opens like that. I put rhinestones on the top of each one of these. And then, da-da-da-da, what do you think? I rhinestoned it up. And this one came out so gorgeous, just as I expected it to. It looks like velvet, like I wanted it to. But that other one was just horrible. So there you go. You now know what cheap resin will do. Any resin, though, I would keep out of the sunlight for great lengths of time. Just because it may yellow, but that other one is just terrible. Anyway, I hope you like it. I hope you learned a few things with all this going on. There was a lot going on today, you guys, all over the place. So I'm going to get you some finishing pictures. Remember, if you decide to become a channel member, not only do you support me doing videos every day for you guys, but you get all the pictures that go on the end of the video. They all get downloaded to members only. So if you need inspiration, that's a good way to get it. And I will see you all tomorrow. You guys all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.